What if your budget does not fail because you are bad with money, but because the system you are using is too strict, too unrealistic, and too hard to repeat in real life? Most people start budgeting with strong motivation. They open a notebook or download an app, create categories, set spending limits, and promise themselves that this month will be different. For the first few days, everything feels organized and under control. They track their spending carefully, avoid unnecessary purchases, and feel financially disciplined, but then real life happens. A birthday comes up, a car needs repair, food costs more than expected, friends invite him out, and one small unexpected expense turns into another. Slowly, the budget starts breaking, and by the end of the month, it feels like it completely failed. Welcome to Money Decoded. Today we are decoding why most budgets fail after 30 days and how you can build a budget that actually works in real life, not just on paper. One of the biggest reasons budgets fail is that they are too strict. Many people design a budget that looks perfect logically but is impossible emotionally. They cut out restaurants, entertainment, shopping, coffee, hobbies, and anything that brings enjoyment all at once. At the beginning, this feels disciplined and powerful, but very quickly it starts to feel like restriction and punishment. The problem is that a budget that removes all enjoyment is not sustainable. Money management should give you control over your life, not make your life feel miserable. The goal is not to stop spending completely, the goal is to spend intentionally without guilt. Another major reason budgets fail is that people forget irregular expenses. Most budgets include fixed costs like rent, bills, food, transport, and subscriptions, but they ignore expenses that do not happen every month. Things like car maintenance, gifts, medical costs, clothing, repairs, travel, school fees, and family events are all part of real life. These are not surprises, they are predictable irregular expenses. When people fail to plan for them, they assume the budget has broken, but in reality, the budget was incomplete from the beginning. Emotional spending is another powerful factor that destroys budgets. Money is not purely mathematical, it is deeply emotional. People spend when they are stressed, bored, tired, excited, or simply trying to reward themselves. A bad day turns into food delivery, a stressful week turns into unnecessary shopping, and a small achievement turns into a spending moment. This is why budgeting is not only about numbers, it is about understanding behavior. If you do not understand your emotions, you will keep breaking your budget without realizing why it is happening. Another common reason budgets fail is the all-or-nothing mindset. Many people make one mistake, overspend once, and immediately assume the entire budget is ruined. They think, I already failed, so there is no point continuing, and then they stop tracking completely. This is where most progress dies. But a budget is not something that breaks because of one mistake. Just like one unhealthy meal does not ruin a fitness journey, one overspending day does not destroy your financial plan. A good budget allows adjustment and recovery instead of giving up. A very important issue is that people do not assign every dollar a purpose. Many budgets only focus on bills and basic expenses, and whatever money is left unplanned. That leftover money feels free, and that is exactly why it disappears through small, untracked purchases like food delivery, subscriptions, online deals, and impulse spending. If money does not have a job, it will always find a way to disappear. A strong budget gives every dollar a role, whether it is spending, saving, investing, debt repayment, or emergency funds. Lifestyle pressure also plays a big role in budget failure. People do not spend in isolation, they are constantly influenced by friends, family, social media, and society. When everyone around you is upgrading their lifestyle, traveling, eating out, and showing highlights online, it becomes harder to stay disciplined. This creates the illusion that budgeting means falling behind. But what you see online is only the highlight, not the financial reality behind it. Many people who look successful are actually under financial pressure. Another silent budget killer is ignoring small expenses. Most people pay attention to big bills but completely overlook small daily spending. These small expenses feel harmless, but over time they create serious damage. Coffee, snacks, delivery fees, apps, subscriptions, and impulse purchases seem minor individually, but together they can take a large portion of your income. Awareness of small spending is not about guilt, it is about control. Budgets also fail when they do not match real income. Some people build budgets based on expected income instead of actual income, while others use fixed budgets despite having irregular earnings. This creates frustration and inconsistency. A freelancer, business owner, or commission-based worker needs a flexible system, while a salaried person can follow a more stable structure. A budget must adapt to your income, not force your income to fit the budget. Another important reason budgets fail is the lack of a goal. Saving money without a purpose feels meaningless. But saving for something like financial freedom, debt freedom, emergency security, investment, travel, or a business creates emotional motivation. A budget without a goal feels like restriction, but a budget with a goal feels like progress. Purpose changes behavior. Finally, most budgets fail because they rely on motivation instead of systems. Motivation is temporary and strong at the beginning, but it fades quickly. Real financial success comes from systems like automatic savings, separate accounts, simple tracking, weekly reviews, and spending limits. Systems continue working even when motivation disappears. So how do you build a budget that actually lasts longer than 30 days? First, make it realistic instead of perfect. Do not cut everything at once, focus on reducing the biggest waste while still allowing yourself to enjoy life. A budget you can follow is always better than a perfect budget you quit. Second, include fun money on purpose. When you allow planned enjoyment, you reduce emotional spending and avoid guilt-driven mistakes. Third, plan for irregular expenses by setting aside a small amount every month so future costs do not feel like financial shocks. Fourth, review your budget weekly instead of waiting for the end of the month. This helps you adjust early instead of discovering failure too late. Fifth, forgive small mistakes instead of quitting. A budget is a process of improvement, not perfection. Sixth, automate savings and investments so your money moves toward your goals before you get a chance to spend it. Here is the truth. Budgets fail when they are designed for a perfect life, but real life is not perfect. Real life includes emotions, surprises, pressure, and unexpected expenses. A good budget does not ignore these realities, it prepares for them. Budgeting is not about controlling every rupee or dollar. It is about understanding your money, reducing waste, and directing your income toward the life you actually want to build. So if your budget failed before, it does not mean you failed. It simply means your system needed improvement. Build a budget that is simple, flexible, realistic, and connected to your goals, and that is how you make it last. Subscribe to Money Decoded for more simple lessons that help you understand money, build wealth, and take control of your financial future.